Before I make this video, I just want to apologize. The tortoises are in today. It's 117 degrees outside. They're from Africa. It's too hot out here, even for them. So they're in. So if you hear some scratching, some noises, don't mind it. It's just the little guys behind me in their aquarium. So they're staying in the air conditioning today. It's just too hot out. It's Friday, August 8th, 2025. A lot to talk about today. So much happening. And you really should be concerned. I know the stock market is at all-time highs. We're being told all over the media everything's fine. You need to really be concerned with what is happening. And I've got a bunch of articles here, nothing really in order. I want to share these with you. Leave a comment down below, would appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and share these videos all over the place. Our $600 tariff rebate checks headed our way. Here's how we'd use the extra cash. Let me ask all of you this. Are we going to see these rebate checks, more stimulus, more money printing, more inflation? Is it coming? There is a very good chance, a likelihood that we're going to see something like this. Congress is weighing a bill that would assist Americans hundreds of billions of dollars in the form of tariff rebate checks, similar to the pandemic relief checks. And we saw the devastation that created, the trillions of dollars that we pumped into the market, flooded the economy with, and now we're all dealing with this thing called inflation. We were told it was transitory. That was not the truth whatsoever. We're still dealing with it. We're dealing with decades of money printing right now. This is why we should all be concerned to be taking some sort of action. This, they say, to soften the financial blow of the administration's new tariffs. And again, this is going to cause more inflation. Who's going to pay for this? Where's this money coming from, these $600 checks? It's going to be $600 for every adult and dependent child. So a family of four gets $2,400. So where would people spend it? Comment down below. You know where people would spend it. Maybe some will pay off their debt. Maybe some will save it. But we know the majority of this country, as soon as they get a check, they're going to go right out and they're going to spend it. And this is what they want. They don't want people to save it. They want people to get out there and spend money and get this economy chugging along. So let me know your thoughts. Is this a good idea, a bad idea? I think it's a horrific idea. There's no such thing as free money. We found that out the hard way just from the pandemic relief and the trillions of dollars that flooded this economy that we're now paying for and now seeing record inflation. Fox Business. Biden jobs chart had gigantic error. Trump right to fire BLS chief economist says. The BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs in the last 2 years of the Biden administration. Look, I'm not going to sit here and get political. It doesn't matter what side you're on. There was so much manipulation with these job numbers. And as I said a year ago, once the new administration gets in, we're going to begin to get the real numbers. I do believe it was very manipulated during the last administration. And now we're going to get the real numbers. And they're going to be bad. They're going to be very bad. And of course, they will blame this administration for that. Love this guy, hate this guy, whatever. They're going to start telling us the truth, and they need to blame somebody. And it wasn't Sleepy Joe that they're going to blame. It's going to be this administration. So was it an error or was it done on purpose? That is the question. I believe that this could not be an error because it was so big, that this was done on purpose. Let me know your thoughts on that. Here's another one today, CNBC. Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut $186 billion from SNAP through 2035 and how states might handle the changes. Now, this is interesting. And I don't know who wouldn't agree to this. Able-bodied Americans 18 to 64 without dependents must now meet expanded work requirements of at least 80 hours per month, not a week, 80 hours a month to remain eligible for benefits. Who disagrees with that? Do you really think an able-bodied adult should just sit at home and have taxpayers feed them and house them? That is such a sin, ladies and gentlemen. Horrible. Also, strictly limited to permanent residents and U.S. citizens. Those are the people who will be getting these benefits. Do you think people from other countries who came here illegally should be getting U.S. benefits? Absolutely not. Again, it does not matter what side of the aisle you're on. Who thinks morally that that's even right to be giving U.S. tax dollars to people from all over the world? That's pure insanity. 15% of benefit costs will now be covered by the states. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this. Here's another one today. Arkansas health insurers seeking significant 2026 rate hikes. If you think it is hard to make it today in this economy, you ain't seen nothing yet. A company called, I believe it's Centene, out of Arkansas, a health company, an insurer, is seeking a 54% increase. Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield has filed for a 25.5% hike. And other insurance companies there are filing for big increases. This is going to affect 350,000 people in Arkansas. How are people going to continue to make it from day to day with the cost of everything going up? The rich get richer, the middle class and the poor are being absolutely decimated. MSN, cars, coffee, clothing are poised to get pricier with new tariffs. Americans are paying more for appliances, home furnishings, toys, and shoes than they were a few months ago. They could soon face higher prices on more goods as sharper tariffs kick in. And yet we're being told inflation is 2.7%. You know, honestly, I pray to God that this Fed does not cave and cut rates, because it is going to open the floodgates to inflation. Peter Schiff, interest rates should be higher, not lower. Who agrees with Peter Schiff? I 100% agree with Peter Schiff. They need to be hiking rates drastically right now, not cutting rates. They want you to be able to access cheap money to go out and buy a $150,000 pickup truck, to buy a home that's $700,000 that should be $450,000. Nobody's talking about lowering prices. They're just talking about getting access to cheap money. That is not the solution here. Market watchers are salivating for rate cuts, Peter Schiff says, but rate cuts in a free market, rates would be higher, not lower. We still have a lot of inflation in the pipeline from all the Fed's printing over the past couple decades. And then here's a question I have for everybody. The world is losing confidence in the US dollar. That is a fact, period. Who's going to buy treasuries if the Fed is cutting rates? Who's going to buy US treasuries when the Fed cuts rates, if they cut rates, which they may cave? But at some point, Powell's going to be out. They're going to get somebody in. They're going to cut rates, and they're going to cut them drastically. Who is going to buy US treasuries? You're going to be dealing with a lot of inflation, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of inflation. Hell Turner radio show. Uh-oh, heads up. Trump talking 1929 depression, setting stage to blame the courts. Trump said this: tariffs are having a huge positive impact on the stock market. Almost every day, new records are set, 100%. In addition, hundreds of billions of dollars are pouring into our country's coffers. If a radical left court ruled against us at this late date in an attempt to bring down or disturb the largest amount of money, wealth, and creation and influence the USA has ever seen, it would be impossible to ever recover or pay back. It would be 1929 all over again. What are your thoughts on this? Does he know something? Does he know something and he's getting everybody prepared? Does he believe that the courts are going to stop this? Is he warning the public of a 1929 crash? Is he warning of a depression? Does he believe that the courts are going to step in here and stop these tariffs? And if they do, is this possible? Are we going to see a crash, a massive crash, a depression? What happened in 1929? For those of you who don't read history, banks collapsed, massive food lines, businesses closed, food riots. Good luck getting your money, ladies and gentlemen. But people say, don't worry, your money is insured by the FDIC. By the way, that is, I think, 1 cent for every dollar is insured by the FDIC. And the FDIC has up to a year to get you your money back if something happened like this. What do you do in the meantime for a whole year waiting for your money? So maybe today is a good day. If your bank's open this weekend, maybe it's a good time on Saturday, maybe it's a good day on Monday to maybe go pull a few dollars out of the bank and go put it somewhere outside of the system. Because heaven forbid something major like this happens, and something major is going to happen here in the United States of America, and I think it's going to be more than one event. U.S. households owed an average of $152,653 at the end of the second quarter of 2025. This is near the all-time high. Now imagine if a 1929 type of event were to occur when the average household owes almost $153,000 in debt. What do you think would happen? This is not a good time to owe anybody. It's not a good time to have debt. Of course, most people have some debt. Most people, at least have a mortgage if they own a house. Not everybody pays cash, and it's a big purchase. So, but we have people pulling HELOCs out. We have people living way above their means, not below. And if things got a little bumpy, if a spouse loses a job, it's game over for a lot of people. Heaven forbid we see a 1929 style event take place. People are sitting ducks. And I say that because they have so much debt and they've been living in their bubbles for so long, and they've been believing that nothing bad can ever happen. They will be taken by such a surprise. You don't want to wake up to a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Be awake, be aware, be preparing. Take this weekend, add a little bit more food and water to your preps. Maybe pull a little bit of money out of the bank and put it somewhere safe. Maybe buy a little bit of gold and silver, put it away. There's always something we can be doing. But maybe this president is warning us that something's going to happen. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we all know that we are long overdue for something really, really big to happen, and it's going to happen. We are seeing bubbles in real estate, bubbles in the stock market. We're watching this continuation of the commercial real estate apocalypse take place. We're seeing more stores than ever before closing. More bankruptcies are soaring, and the entire real estate market is frozen at this point. But don't worry, the stock market is at all-time highs. I hope that that's helping you at some point. More than likely, it probably isn't. I'm going to leave it there today. Please leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video and all my videos. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Exercise situational awareness. Make sure you're training. Make sure you're preparing. And most of all, make sure you're walking close to God. Take care. Talk to you soon.